Hello, fiber friend! In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to spin woolen yarn using a supported long draw. Woolen spinning is fun, satisfying, and with a little practice, incredibly efficient. Typical woolen yarn is not as smooth and compact as worsted yarn. It's very springy and bouncy, and a lot of people refer to it as fuzzy. I'm okay with fuzzy. I like fuzzy yarn. Wool yarn is made by aligning wool fibers in a deliberate way, pulling them apart from each other and adding twist. Pulling the fibers apart is called drafting. Either the fibers will be aligned parallel to the yarn being made, as in worsted spinning. They'll be perpendicular to the yarn being made, as in spinning from the fold, or the fibers will be completely random to the yarn being made. We want the fibers to be random for making woolen yarn. The most commonly used fiber preparation for woolen spinning is the Rolag. For this tutorial, I am spinning some Rolags I made in a previous video. I will put a link to the video where I made these Rolags in the description box below. So if you'd like to see how I prepare the fiber for woolen spinning, you can take a look. Before making your yarn, you should plan on what you want the final product to be. Are you going to leave it as a single? Are you going to ply it? Will it be a 2, 3, or cable ply? Plied yarns require more twist to keep their strength, and singles require less twist, or else they'll become really unruly and curly and jumble up, and that's difficult to work with. This yarn that I'm spinning is going to be left as a single because I want to maintain the color shifts. This technique is called supported long draw because I use two hands to draft the fiber and control the twist. The hand closest to the wheel is supporting the yarn I am making. To clarify explanations in this video, I'm going to name my hands. My hand closest to the spinning wheel will be called gatekeeper, and the hand holding the Rolag will be called fiber holder. Gatekeeper controls the amount of twist let in, while fiber holder controls the draft, or the amount of fiber that's let out of the Rolag. The first thing I do when I get going is build up some twist into the yarn. If you are just learning how to spin woolen, it is okay to stop treadling when you draft. Look, I just stopped, and it's okay. To quote Alden Amos, you can't treadle your way out of trouble. Don't let the wheel get away from you. Now that I have some twist built up in this section of the yarn, I'm going to stop treadling and focus on drafting. I'm going to open up Gatekeeper and let the twist come into the working section of the yarn. Now the twist comes all the way up. I'm ready to draft. I'm going to hold the fiber between my hands. This is why this is supported woolen spinning, because this hand is supporting the yarn. I'm not pulling it against the bobbin. That would work against my tension and it would just all come out backwards. I let the fiber out of the Rolag a little at a time, always a little at a time, letting my Gatekeeper open and close. So the twist is coming in, I draft, I let some more twist in, I draft, I let more twist in, I draft. I'm going to make exaggerated motions with my Gatekeeper hand so that you can see. Open, draft, open, draft, open, draft, open, draft, open, draft. The twist in the fiber creates friction, and that is what holds the yarn together. Not enough twist creates weak yarn, and that yarn will drift apart. On the other side, too much twist creates brittle yarn, and that is yarn that will easily snap and break. We want the twist somewhere between so that we can make a strong yarn, but one that's also soft and springy. So as each section of yarn that I'm working on gets to the thickness that I want, I open the gatekeeper, let some more twist in, and draft more. When I have the right amount of twist and a good long section of yarn, I let the yarn wind onto the bobbin, and then I'm ready to work the next segment. To join two Rolags, I work to the end of the first Rolag, take the second Rolag, draft out some of the fibers at the tip, and just keep on spinning. If you are just learning how to spin, do not worry about speed. It will come in time with practice. These are a few tips that really help me when I'm spinning woolen long draw. First, I do not let gatekeeper get too close to the orifice. I need some space for the twist to build up while I'm drafting, so then I can open the gate, let the twist in, and it becomes a smooth movement. If this hand is crowding the orifice, there's only this much room for the twist to enter. Tip number 2 is to move my fiber holding hand backwards from gatekeeper. If I start doing this with them real close together, then I'm essentially using a woolen prep with a worsted technique. And that's not the yarn I want to achieve. I don't hold my Rolag too tightly when I draft, or nothing will come out. If my yarn is coming out thick and thin and I don't want it to, that means I'm drafting too much before the twist can hold the fibers together. So to fix this, I draft shorter sections and increase the twist. Another way to say that is I open and close the gate to let the twist in more frequently. Maybe I treadle a little faster as well. If my yarn is snapping when I draft, I check that I'm not drafting it too thin. Possibly I'd want to add less twist. Now I have to fix this. If my yarn is drifting apart easily, I need to add more twist to help it hold together. And if my yarn feels hard and ropey, that means I have too much twist and I need to decrease that. When I'm ready to let the yarn wind onto the bobbin, I make sure that I keep my tension on the yarn. I don't just shove it up in there, because then it starts to ply on itself and it won't go onto the bobbin as smoothly. Sometimes if I have a part of the yarn that is thicker, I go back, pinch both sides of the slub of the thicker part, give it a reverse twist to let some of the twist out. Then I can draft it and let it go. And that helps me even out my yarn. I do want to mention as one final tip, not to stress over the yarn being a little bit thick and thin. Spinning woolen yarn is very forgiving in terms of consistency, especially if you ply it. Because the yarn is so springy and bouncy, a lot of the inconsistencies to a point will correct themselves as the yarn is being worked up in a project. I am so happy this yarn came out so pretty. Take a look at that. I love it. I am going to give it a good wash, probably a thwack, because that is an appropriate thing to do for this kind of yarn. And I'll have to find a good project for it. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. If this video was helpful for your spinning, please click the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel to see more videos just like this. And if you have any questions about woolen spinning that I didn't answer in the video, or you need help troubleshooting, you can send me a message or an email and I will do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching and learning how to spin woolen yarn with me. I will see you later. Bye.